hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? I think you have to let parent, you're recording right now.
I am? How do I stop? Oh, okay. We're recording. I'm gonna mute.
Okay, thank you. So today, also I'll start. First of all, thank you all for joining us today via Zoom. It's like a strange open house, I guess. But as you know, schools will be closed until May 1st. We were told that we will have more information and at least a good heads up if it were to be canceled or like stopped for an extra few weeks or until the end of the year. But as of now, from the daily emails we've been getting from the union and from the district, schools will be closed until May 1st. So we also learned, we were given we were sent an email where they also asked us about how telling us that we had to do what we call direct teaching. So we have to find a way to teach directly to our students. But we were told that for third graders, the district is asking students to only have a maximum of 2 hours of screen time during the school day. So afterwards, up until 2:30. And so for that reason, Ms. Morikawa and I just talked a lot about what was the easiest way. We do not feel, well, for French, I do not feel comfortable teaching via Zoom to 43 students or breaking up. I mean, it's pretty hectic via Zoom. So what I decided to do for myself is I started a YouTube channel. I never knew I was going to become a YouTuber, but I just think it is much easier for me to do an entire lesson, film myself, and then post it on my YouTube channel. That way students will be able to go back, pause, take notes, whatever, during, and it'll be up to them during the day. It's much easier on my end for French than having students via Zoom. So it's up on the website, my YouTube link, or you can also just type in Astrid Burgess and nothing fancy, and you'll have videos there. So my plan is to have 2 to 3 videos a week. So the first video, I'll post it on Sunday night or Monday, and it'll be more of like a grammar, conjugation video. And then my second video will be more reading a story, doing a reading comprehension, and then students, and I'll go over exercises too in my YouTube video. So it'll be part lesson, part going over the exercises students will be asked to do. So, so for me, on my end, 2 to 3 videos on my YouTube channel. One will be posted around Monday and the other Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. And then I'll be holding office hours from 10:30 to 11:30 on Wednesday. And so this office hour for students only, if they have questions, things we could go over. So that's for French, and that's what I'm comfortable doing personally. So the YouTube videos and a 1 hour office hour on Wednesday for students. So they can just come in and out during that 1 hour. And Ms. Morikawa will be doing one Zoom lesson. So that'll be an hour long on for math or ELA, depending on the needs of students. And that will be on Thursdays every week from 1:30 to 2:30. And so that way she can go over, any questions or concerns students have and like teach another, like right now they may be struggling with perimeter and area for math. So that's what she will be doing. And then we will have a weekly office hour for parents. So those will be Fridays from 1:30 to 2:30. Obviously, if something comes up during the week, as you know, we're on our emails. So not this week, that's why we're holding it on Monday, because spring break starts on Friday. So there will be no instruction next week because that's spring break. So that's when it comes to direct instruction. Our expectations. So past 2 weeks have been hectic for everyone, I'm sure. And so this is what we've decided officially. Mondays will be a catch-up day. We will not be asking any students to do any schoolwork, but it will be a day where we hope they can do PE, practice their violin or orchestra instrument, do art, work on typing, do music, yoga, gardening, it's a day where we want them to just do also those things that are just as important as schoolwork and that they're unable to do because they're not at Richland. There will be no more homework. So the last packet, that's done. But we expect them to read, please. No reading log, but please reading. That's what we're really encouraging. So because there's no more homework, we really want them to take time with their classwork and their schoolwork and practice, reading or writing or something they might be struggling with a bit more, And for French and ELA, the new structure of the week, what it will look like. Ms. Morikawa and I, for French and ELA, will be giving 1 day or 1 or 2 days of just like grammar exercises, for example. So just like 2 to 3 exercises. But then for the rest of the week, it will be more like reading comprehension, or like a little essay writing. It'll be more of the structure that you had this week for French. That's what it's gonna look like. So it won't be like exercises Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It'll be like Tuesday exercises, then like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it'll be more like reading and answering questions based on like the video of me reading, something more like that. And it'll be the same thing for ELA, English Language Arts. Math will be starting after spring break. We're going to do more project-based learning. So it will not be as many papers. It'll be more projects, like fun projects. You'll see we came up with a few fun projects, and it'll be like a project that'll last like 1 or 2 to 3 weeks. So it won't be as many like papers, worksheets. It'll be more project-based, like a food truck. You'll see, it'll be fun. We want them to have fun with it. And same for science. So solar system and the science fair. When it comes to turning in work, it's been a struggle, and it's been something we've thought of different ideas all last week, and we came up with an idea that instead of asking all of you to turn in all of the schoolwork, anything that is where we give the answer key to, you do not need to turn it in. Students can self-correct. But for example, like the future, writing the essay on the future, those type of things, please do turn it in. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start writing, self-correct, and don't turn it in to us. Please turn it in, please turn it in. So just to make everyone's life a bit easier. And so with that, we figured out how to make Google Classroom. We've discovered Google Classroom. So Ms. Morikawa and Ms. Morikawa is going to show you how what this new platform looks like, which will make turning in work so much easier, hopefully. And so Ms. Morikawa, do you want to?
Yeah, can you hear me? Good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, perfect. So, so this is our Google Classroom. Basically, how you can get there is to just go to Google and then, Google Classroom, and then you can sign in. So this is our Google Classroom. If you guys are on your phone, you can follow along with me. So this is our class code that I'll be sending to all of you. This is how you register into our class. So in a minute, I'll show you how to do that. But basically, I know that a lot of parents were requesting that we have everything all in one place. So I think this is the platform. Google Classroom, we're gonna post the work, you can turn the work in. We're also posting our answer key on this website. So let me give you guys a little tour. Here's like a little what's coming up, I guess. This is where you hit classwork. So you could see all the French work, all the English, the math, science, and social studies. So for tomorrow, this is the math assignment. You can download it, or if you don't have a printer, you can always hand copy it. Well, there's 12 questions, but I think you could hand copy it easily if you don't have a printer. And then,
Miss Morikawa?
yeah?
Just so you know, I heard that Staples is actually printing schoolwork for free.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, verify with individual Staples, but check with them.
Yes, Staples right here on National and Sawtelle, they are offering 50 copies, 50 free copies in black and white for all Richland families.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing. So there you go. And then, so here's for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday is technically spring break, so no work on Friday. Here it says, if you click on it, it says, please do your best. I know you can do this independently. You can find the answers in the Google Drive folder. This is self-corrected, so you do not need to turn this in. So how do I look at the answers? So if you scroll back up, there's a Google Calendar and then a Class Drive folder. So you can click on Class Drive folder. And then here are your answers. So for Tuesday, March 31st, there should be the French and math answer. The grammar will come up hopefully before 3 o'clock. Sorry about that. But yeah, so there you go. And everything is all in one place. People, so once everyone joins, there is a little icon where you can start creating your folders for your child. And then that's where you upload everything onto this folder. So this is your folders.
Do you want to show them the calendar, Ms. Morikawa?
Yeah, let me go back. There's also a Google Calendar that we created. So today's Monday, but on the 3rd, it says no school today. And then the 6th, April 6th is spring break. And then April 13th, we were thinking of doing like a spirit week, a virtual spirit week. So we were thinking on Monday, have the kids wear Richland gear. I'll send out another email and remind you guys. But I thought that this would be fun and hopefully boost some morale and get the kids excited about school and class again. So I hope it works. And then again, you can upload pictures through
From the Spirit Week, you can upload the pictures.
Through Google Classroom. So yeah.
Can you show us how to upload the work?
Sure. So I think I have to sign out. Actually, who is working on a computer? Anybody? Lynn, are you on a computer?
Yeah.
So can you Google Classroom? I'm sorry, yeah, Google Classroom. And then the class code is D as in dog, EEXWPP. And then, let's see. I can.
Ms. Morikawa, then you can stop sharing your screen. That way Noonan can share his.
Oh, okay. Do you want to share your screen, Noonan, or should I sign out?
I can share. Let me see.
Do you know how to share?
Hold on. I don't know how to do this.
It's on the bottom usually of the Zoom. There's a green arrow that says share.
Oh, okay. Share screen. It says desktop, whiteboard. So let's see, share desktop. I have to open system preferences. Is that working? No?
I can sign out.
Oh no, hold on. I just had to. It says Zoom will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Oh no, it's, yes.
I can share mine.
Okay,
if
thank
want me
you.
to. It seems like it's working.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Brooke.
So then Brooke, if you go on classwork.
Is mine sharing?
Yes.
Okay, great. Go to classwork.
Or yeah, and then go ahead and do math, and then hit Tuesday. Oh, sorry. Go back. Hit the back arrow. Yeah, and then
The class drive folder.
Tuesday, March 31st. So scroll down.
This.
There you go. Hit that, and then hit view assignment. And then see how it says turn it in, or that's how you can turn in your work. Yeah.
I'll click here, and then one attachment will be submitted for this work.
Well, yeah, or you can, that's just our worksheet. So yeah, you hit cancel.
Yeah.
You can see that add or create. Yeah. So let's say,
A file, you can upload a file or
Right.
whatever you'd like.
or you could, if we ever gave like a writing prompt, like let's say I said, oh, read a book and then write me a little paragraph of what you read, and you can just, type your thing and then turn it in.
So you can do it as a private comment if you only want the teachers to see, or as a class comment. Let's say if you have a question on something, like Django has a question, and it might help other students.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's the difference between class comments and private comments.
So I see you can, in the turn-in, you can add a link. Is it okay to add a link to the Dropbox or where we already have the stuff?
Yes, of course. Okay. So whatever is easier for you.
Is it possible to add a picture?
Yep.
Yes.
Same thing. Yeah.
I mean, what do you prefer to, that we add the document or that we add a link, or what do you prefer?
Whatever is easiest for you. We want to make your lives easier, and so that's why we've been working with trying to figure out Google Classroom for a week now, and we played with different types of things, and we thought that was the easiest and most user-friendly way of doing it.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys could.
Very clean and neat. Thank you.
I don't know if you guys could see what I still did. I don't know what you guys see, but I made something called test, and then I went to turn in. I pressed turn in. Oh, I'm sorry, cancel. I went to add or create, and then I just went to file, and it has a little thing where it says drag files here, and you just drop it in. It seemed really easy.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, it seemed like it worked. So
And so we know that the transition, so we'll leave the website out because we, we'll be posting on both, but eventually we'll move only to Google Classroom. So we just want to make a smooth transition from our website to Google Classroom, but we just think that in general, this is easier for everyone.
What is the class code again?
Oh yeah, Brooke, can you stop sharing
I would love to. Can you tell me how?
If you go on the top, usually it says stop sharing. There's like a little green box, and then it says.
Should I do it? Are you looking at my screen now?
Okay, there, I think.
Yeah, no, it's Ms. Morikawa's screen.
Okay, great. Is mine's gone?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'll mute myself. Bye.
So if you want to turn in some of the old homework, can we use the same procedure for that?
Yeah, so why don't you do that, and just like on the file, just like maybe put the date or something like that.
Okay.
So do you want last week's homework in there, or?
If you emailed it to us, it's totally fine. If you've already submitted it via email, it's fine. Okay. If you haven't, then just put the date. That way we'll know.
Okay, thanks.
So you can like do it by, let's say you can turn in that, do your work for this week, and like on Sunday, just turn everything in and it's fine.
Is there any other questions? Brooke, I forgot to ask you, were you able to, well, anybody actually, were you able to access the Google Calendar and the Dropbox?
What Dropbox?
Or not the Dropbox, the file, the classroom, help me out.
For now on Google?
Can you
on the Google Classroom?
Yes. Do you also see the Google Calendar and everything?
So under classwork on my screen, you can see the Google Calendar and the Google Class Drive folder. Under class.
I don't see there's the calendar. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, good. Yay!
Yeah, calendar works. And the class drive folder, it's spinning. Yep, that's good. All works.
Yay! That's, woo! Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. Should I stop?
Oh, Ms. Morikawa, could you type in the chat the code? That way you can stop sharing, but you can put up the code in the chat.
I'll go back. Last time.
Yeah, it's what? DEEXW. Okay.
All right. I think it's your turn.
No, I mean, now it's, if you have any questions.
Would you speak for a few minutes of what are your goals for the 1 hour Zoom session that you have scheduled in the
For me?
Yeah, for each of you.
Yeah, so for me, for French, like I said, it's mainly questions. I will not be doing direct teaching for French. My direct teaching is via my YouTube videos. Because it's just so much easier for students, especially with French, to pause, rewind, go back, rather than having an hour with 20 or so, even more than that, children. So my idea for my 1 hour via Zoom is mainly questions or answers and like clarifying anything. That's going to be my goal during my Zoom meetings with students I'll be doing it on Wednesdays from 10:30 to 11:30.
My intentions are the same. However, I know that the composite area and perimeter was a struggle for some children. So I'll do direct teaching Thursday at 1:30 to 2:30, and then questions and answers, and hopefully the children will work on those worksheets that I assigned for tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then they can come also and ask me questions. So I'll probably be teaching for like maybe 15-20 minutes, just showing them. It will be on the computer. There's also, so in addition to share screen, you could also do like a whiteboard. So it'll look like this, and then I'll say like, let's have this and this. So we'll try our best. And then yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Chair, so Ms. Morikawa,
Yes.
quick question. Did you guys with Mr. G had a discussion and considered that there is a, let's say, a big possibility that the
Yes, there's a big possibility that schools will stay closed until the end of the school year. So that's why we really wanted to take the first 2 weeks to like spend time and like really develop a platform that would be easy for both teachers and parents and students. And that's why, because we're not very tech savvy, you know, we really looked into Google Classroom, and there was like Seesaw, there are different programs, and with the website, but at the end of the day, we realized that Google Classroom is the easiest way. And that's why we spend a lot of time on figuring it out and finding ways that work for both of us, because we're, you know, different teachers, and that's why I'm fine doing the YouTube videos and not as comfortable teaching an entire lesson via Zoom. So there was a lot of back and forth. And I also had a parent just on the chat asking me about my YouTube video, so I'll post a link on the chat. Again, I'm not a YouTuber. Just a heads up, it's an experience, so bear with me.
You did very good. I watched it last night.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I just have a question here. I was wondering why just 1 hour a week? If I understand, it's going to be one class on Thursday with Miss Morikawa.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yes.
And another class on Wednesday with Mrs. Borges, right?
Yes.
Why just 1 hour a week?
Of direct instruction?
Excuse me?
That's just required. That was just the requirement from the principal.
Okay.
And so that's why for us, it's whatever we are most comfortable with as teachers and technology. And we don't want students to also spend a lot of hours on a screen. So that's why we do not want to push it too long via Zoom. We rather have, you know, like I said, either 1 hour with Ms. Morikawa via Zoom, and in my case, having those YouTube videos with lessons, that way they can go back to it and pause.
I just asked this question because there are some parents that are still working from home or outside the house, and it's a little bit complicated. I noticed that the 3 past week, it's a little bit complicated to follow all the programs during the day.
After this week, the workload, to be honest, will be a lot lighter and more self-paced. So for example, we're not going to give any more math book pages. It's going to be project-based learning. So meaning the children should be able to do these projects independently. They shouldn't be asking for your help. They shouldn't be asking for you to sit next to them. I mean, of course you can, but it should be 3rd grade level work, and they should be able to do it by themselves. So that should alleviate the pressures that you guys might feel, that you're one person and maybe you have other children that you need to attend to or help or support. But please know that Chaz should be able to do the work by himself.
Right, and because please keep in mind that May was supposed to be also a testing month, right? So a lot of what we were supposed to cover was already covered. So the new material will be limited because we were supposed to finish all the curriculum and standards by the end of April. So the month of May was, mainly testing, which, as you know, will not be happening. So it's a lot of material that a lot less new material. It's a lot of review that we will be doing in May. And that's why we're talking about also doing more project-based learning. That's going to be a review of things they've seen all of the school year. And same with French. That's why I'll be pushing more reading comprehension and those types of things rather than new topics. Because again, things were supposed to be covered. We had until the end of April, which is coming up.
Mrs. Burgess, I have a question. I understand that. So the kids basically have to log in the classroom every morning to see what they have to do. So this is how they should do. Because we were thinking the same, of course. Wouldn't it be possible to have maybe like 15 minutes or 20 minutes Zoom every morning, just so that the kids know they have to get ready, we help them, but it's hard to get everybody like doing everything they have to do every morning. So maybe like a 15 to 20 minutes Zoom every morning, just so that they come in front of the computer and they realize that they actually have work to do and that their teachers are actually giving them the work to do instead of their parents, because for us, this is like a complicated process.
Yeah, the warm-up. The warm-up process.
I mean, may I say something about that? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against this idea. I, as a matter of fact, I share that. It's tough for me also some morning to put Romain to work. That is true. But on the other hand, I think we all have different schedules. We all have to adapt to our own family rhythm. And to me, to know that every morning at 9 a.m. or 8:30 or 10, whatever we all decide, we might have days where I just can't go on the computer at 9 or someone else here or whatever. Like, I believe we all need to adapt because we cannot all have the same schedule. It's impossible.
Right, and that's where a lot of the issues with this virtual teaching comes into place too, right? Because as teachers also, Ms. Morikawa has 2 very young children. We all have like lives going on, and meeting the needs of all the parents is very, very challenging. So that's why we're trying to keep as like structured as possible and as simple as possible, rather than having like the red group shows up at this time on the Zoom, and then the green group, and then it becomes very, very hectic as well, because there are 43 students. So that's why we rather just have like very structured chunks of time where then they can just come in and come out of the meetings if they want to. And there are also, it's part of this experience is, I guess, having the students become more responsible.
Thank you very much. I just want to thank you because I know that you both put a great effort on, getting organized, creating the website, now your YouTube channel and the new schedule. I know that it's not perfect for everyone, but we truly appreciate all your support and efforts, doing that and continuing the classroom, because we know it's a lot for all of us. And I think you're doing a great job. It's a process, and you're doing a great job. So thank you.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about grading, or what's the process with things like projects and all of that? What's the feedback that we can expect from you on that?
So Mr. G also talked to us about that. He said that grading is not a thing right now. He said there's no way that we can grade things, assignments, tests. He's like, of course we can by all means give tests, give these like beautiful projects, but as far as grading, it's kind of like turning in, making sure that they're doing it correctly as far as grading. So as far as report cards, he didn't really mention that, report cards, but I just feel like grading is kind of like superficial right now.
Yeah.
So of course we're gonna look at the work and make sure that they're doing it correctly, and that if there's a big problem, we'll of course email you or contact you. But as far as like 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, I don't think that's a concern right now.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's just more to make sure that they keep on track.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the main. It's not, you know, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Mr. G also said that because of this, everybody is moving to the 4th grade. So don't worry, or don't feel like, oh my gosh, my kid's gonna be behind. I'm gonna have an old 3rd grader. No. Mr. G said that everybody is moving forward to the 4th grade.
Okay. And then is there a plan to postpone the DELF tests and all the standardized testing that was coming in May, or is that still currently going on?
The DELF, I'm not sure. I think it'll be just next year at this point.
Okay.
Because they can take it any year, right?
Okay.
So we'll just postpone that. We have the list. So in regards to reimbursement or that, I'm not sure. But if for example, Anjali wants to take the test next year, then, you know. And for standardized testing, as of now, the only thing we've heard is that it's canceled.
Okay.
So it might just be canceled for 3rd grade and they'll take it in 4th. But we haven't heard anything else besides that it's canceled.
Okay.
And Ms. Morikawa, there's a question on chat about math and whether or not you will be recording the direct teaching. The issue with recording a Zoom meeting with children is that, well, we're not allowed to do that. So with adults, it's different, but with children, we're not allowed to do that. So maybe there's a way to only film you. Maybe you can play around with it. I'm not sure.
Is Burgess?
Yes?
Yeah. One more question out of curiosity. Do you know if the LA districts are considering, let's say the year school is gone, as we said, say this happened. Do you know if the topic has been talked about moving the starting date of the new year school earlier, or the summer will stay the way it is?
So as of now, all we know is that we are technically going back to school on May 1st. So right now they're only focusing on that. They haven't mentioned anything about the summer. So because as of now, everyone's hoping students will be back in school by May 1st. So they haven't talked about summer. I mean, so we haven't heard anything about that, but I doubt they would change dates for the summer. I doubt it. Other school districts have been closed until the end of the school year. Then they go into summer and back to school in August, like planned, or September as planned.
A quick question. I don't know if there's a way for you to list at one point the, you know, what's missing on your side to complete the 3rd grade program. Like, you know, in math, I know that we're in perimeters, and so, you know, what's in the program to check until the end of the year, and like same in French, and, you know, so that we have a kind of a list of, you know, what
we could do that. I mean,
yeah. So to be honest, with math, everything in the math book is the standards. So whatever is empty, if you will, that's what was left.
But it's a lot.
There's a lot in the beginning.
That's what we plan to teach in 1 month, because the state test was in May. So So yeah, so that's with math. With English language arts and French, I'm sure Miss Bridges and I, we could just quickly type something up and then we could post it on our
Google Classroom. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. But math, it's basically your math book, and then every empty page, we were gonna do it in the month of April. So yeah. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Magdalena's dad here. Are you going to be posting the instructions for uploading the classwork and stuff on that Google Class page? Because
we're going to record this video, and we'll probably post this meeting on my YouTube channel. So you can go back to it and yeah.
Okay. And one last question. Ms. Burgess, you were talking about doing your lessons on YouTube an hour. Is that 1 hour per day or 1 hour per week?
No, I'm going to do 2 videos.
Okay.
And so it depends on the topic. It might be more or less short.
Okay. So 2 videos per week?
Per week, yes.
And each
so
one
of them, it really depends on the topic.
Okay.
But usually, I mean, students have like an attention span of about, at this age, about 30 minutes. So I'm not going to make them too long.
Okay.
So it'll be probably more like half an hour. But again, it depends. So it's going to be 1 grammar. Like for example, the one that's up for today is the pour comparer. So I teach my lesson, and then I go over the exercises, the instruction, and give an example of the exercises. And then my second video is going to be more reading comprehension. So I'll be like reading a text. And it'll be the text that they'll be doing that week. They'll have a PDF, there's a copy, so they can follow along while I read the text. And then I'll be going over the questions and what I want, the reading comprehension questions. Okay. So that's my plan. So 1 more like grammar heavy video and 1 reading.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. I'm a little bit worried about the American parents that do not speak French very well, and maybe they need some help or more help than us, because we are native French. Do you think that you can put something together to try to help the kids?
Right,
Maybe.
That's why I'll have office hours for an hour. That's why I'll have office hours for an hour. Once a week.
Every day?
So that way, once a week on Wednesdays from 10:30 to 11:30. So that way, the students will be able to see my videos.
Okay.
And then they can come to me with questions. And let's say they had no idea what the reading is about. They can tell me I have no idea what the reading is about. And that way I can go over it with them.
Okay.
Zoom
regarding
is free. So many minutes it's a free thing. So by all means, if anyone would like to host a social, thank you to Philo, who's been hosting the social Zooms. You could also organize like within the parents. If let's say Philo wants to do a math Zoom and he wants to support him and so many kids, you can always use the Google group email to parents support parents, and or the kids to do an additional Zoom meeting. Same with French. If somebody's willing to host a little Zoom meeting and support the kids that way, I mean, by all means, you guys are more than welcome to do that. In addition, next to us.
And again, I mean, we're going to try this out and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is new for everyone, right? So this is our structure for now, and then we can, and that's why we'll have also parent Zooms on Fridays. That way, if parents also need more clarification on a topic or our homework, then we'll be more than happy to provide the support.
And is there a way to add in the weekly schedule, maybe the other activities? So I know you great suggestion on virtual field trips or museum visits or
Yeah.
but I don't know if you can add a specific topic maybe in the weekly schedule so that at least we all stick to the same kind of schedule, because otherwise we have great resources but we don't necessarily know what to do and what to focus on. And same for Amplify and Scholastic. If we can have a little bit more guidance maybe on what to do
with the resources, like implementing the resources within the Google Calendar?
Within the weekly schedule, maybe.
Okay, yes, we could do that.
Yeah.
And if it correlates with a module that you'd like for them to focus on at that particular time.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We can do that.
I had the Planet project. Is there? How are the kids going to present those projects, and what do you want?
So right now, I changed the due date for the science project. It's going to be both science fair and the commercial's going to be at the end of the week. Our end of the month. Sorry, end of April. So yeah, feel free to take your time with that, and don't worry about the trifold poster or the 3D planet model.
You still want them to do a skit?
Yeah, of course. I think that's the fun part of the project.
And maybe we can see if we can post it all in one folder. That way the kids can watch each other's, or we can play around with that too. Because it's really cute and fun. So maybe we can find a way on Google Classroom to put all the videos together. That way they can watch each other's.
That'd be good.
And then the science fair, then the experiments, do you want them to be turned in the same format?
So no, now it's going to be loose. So you don't have to take photos of every step of the way. Yeah, just, science experiments are fun in general. So you can go ahead and do the science experiment, do the packet, but beyond that, you can, sorry.
This is Mary, Moira's mom. I just want to say I tried to help some of the students with French last week. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it worked really well. Initially, we did a small, basically, my idea is what Jean and others were saying. The families who don't have French speakers, this is a challenge. So we tried a small group session on Skype, which was fine, but the issue there was the kids want to socialize. So I just went to doing 10 minutes one-on-one with them and just fun conversation. And, it's fun for me. It takes a small amount out of my day. So if anyone wants that, feel free to contact me, and maybe some of the other French parents could do that too. So
thank you.
They definitely need, as good as they all are, and they can read so well, they definitely need to work on their conversation skills, all of them, my own daughter included.
And that's why, yes, and I'll have my hour. It can be, if students don't have any questions, it can be an hour of just talking, definitely. But it's true that the socializing is, which is normal, of course.
They need it, yeah. Yeah, but they all definitely, from my experience, they all really need the one-on-one French conversation, even in the best of times. So now's the time to do it. So I'm available. Anybody can email me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for spring break, I know you said that there were no specific assignments, but maybe I don't know. Also before spring break, if you can put up a little list of some things that they need to review, or I don't, because
Right. So it'll be. I mean, we'll send an email definitely. It'll be like catch up, of course. Catch up to start fresh after spring break.
Jackson, close the door.
But we'll also we'll send out resources and things that they can do during that time, because we know it's, we don't want to forget also that this is really challenging for the kids as well, and we want them to breathe also and not fully be working all the time. So so we're trying to keep that in mind, which is why we're also stopping homework in general. Bridget, you have a question?
Oh, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Now, can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay. For us, it's important to have a schedule, and spring break is scaring me a little bit. If there could be at least one thing that we can do in French 3rd grade and English 3rd grade a day, so that we can, if you guys could do that for us,
so what we can
can
do
at
is
least keep something happening.
Right. So what we can do is have, and if everyone's okay with that, we can put together like some resources, and then it will not be mandatory. That way, if parents want to follow it, they can. We just want this time to be, depending on if you really want to put schoolwork aside for a little while, that's fine. And if you need that structure, we can definitely provide that.
Anybody else? No? Last minute questions or comments? Okay, so to wrap this meeting up, it is being recorded. So if you need to go back, this will be posted on Miss Burgess's YouTube channel, and go to the Zoom group chat. She posted a link to her YouTube channel in the chat box. So make sure you see that there. And then
I guess our next meeting, I'm looking at the calendar right now. For next parent meeting will be April 10th.
April 10th, yeah. And then
1:30 to 2:30.
Ms. Burgess is gonna do her French meeting
this Wednesday.
And I'll do my lesson Thursday, and then spring break. But yeah, please continue working on the science fair project and continue to work on the commercial. I don't know, maybe through Google Drive, we could all drop it in there, and then we could all view it, like make it public. I don't know, like I said, towards the end of April, beginning of May. Hopefully we'll be back in school by then, and then we can all see, at one time the projects. But, it's just, we know as much as you know, which is, we don't know. I hope this thing ends soon, because I know we all want to go back to our lives.
Okay. Any last questions?
I do have a question.
Yes.
Can you resend the Amplify credentials? For some reason, Sophia credential doesn't work anymore. She doesn't have access to Amplify. Is that something that you have it?
Sure. Yeah. It shouldn't have changed, but sure.
I'm not sure if that's because of the laptop that we pick up from school. Are they limited to access? Well, obviously Amplify should be on it, but does the laptop has the VPN or anything like that? Because I know the second grade have limitation to what they can access to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can do my best. I can, somebody else had a issue with the laptop, and then Mr. G emailed an email address. I don't remember who that was. And then
I'm not sure if any other parents have problems with their.
Yeah, we are. We are. I think as far as I know, we actually went the first day to pick up iPads and screens for them, and then we had to go back the second day because one of them just wasn't logging on. We talked to Tony and I talked to Mr. G, and they don't have a lot of information. The best thing that we were able to determine was that it is VPN. It connects through VPN, which seems to be, for us anyways, taking up a lot of bandwidth. And now, I mean, I'm working, everybody's working, everybody's got devices online, so there's like a bandwidth issue. What we found is if we all kind of log out and stagger when the kids have their screen time, then they're able to kind of get through.
Yes.
But it hasn't been sporadic. I mean, it's been sporadic. It hasn't been consistent. So, and I know from the first grade meetings that we just had this morning, a lot of parents are having the same problems. So I don't know if LAUSD is going to do something about that. I don't know if they can. But.
We as teachers have access to the IT department hotline, and I know that it has become available to parents and students as well.
Oh, that's a good point. We can send it out on the email. Thank you for reminding us. We can send the IT info. Yes, thank you so much, Maria.
Yeah, I think I heard that the grab and go sites were going to set up tech so you could take your device and they might be able to help you, but I haven't seen it again. So call the hotline and they probably know.
Well, we'll send it out in an email, the information.
I asked Mr. G about, because we thought the laptops were, the Chromebooks were for underprivileged families. And so we said, well, we have a laptop, so we don't need to get it. But then we found out a couple days later that everybody already has one assigned to them. So we didn't get ours. So I asked Mr. G if he was going to be handing them out again. And he said they don't have any plans to right now, but if that changes, he'll let us know.
Right, yeah.
And I have a few questions coming in about poems and dictées in French. I'm thinking about it, assigning a poem or a dictée. I'm just really not sure how I will go about it. So we'll see how it goes with Google Classroom. Maybe I can have you parents recording the dictée and putting it as an assignment. I don't know how you would all feel about that. So we'll maybe in May, when we all become more comfortable with Google Classroom, that could be something. And then, no, Mr. G just didn't really share anything else. I guess we're all at a standby right now in regards to school. We haven't gotten a lot of other info from the district. Just do your best is pretty much what they told us. And yes, Django's mom said that we could share Django already filmed his commercial, so we'll put it on the Google Classroom. That way you can see what we expect from students when it comes to their Space Planet commercial. It's really cute.
Take note though that he is a professionally trained actor, so.
But that way you can have an idea of what we're looking for. We just want it to be fun. We want them to have fun with it.
Great job again, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And again, we'll post this on my YouTube channel.
All right.
Okay, great. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good seeing everybody's faces.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.